I'm Bruce Harters, and this is Voices in the Village. Today we have with us Bill Chou, a member of the Chinese American Club. And we're going to hear about all the different things that a member of a club like that has to do, especially if they're in an important position. Bill, thanks for dropping by and welcome to Voices in the Village.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here.
Well, great. Nice having you. We got to know Bill on a bus trip that my wife and I took, along with several hundred people, to the Getty Museum. And having had that experience, I started thinking about the Chinese American Club and what Bill's duties are and what it took to do that job, et cetera, et cetera. So I thought you all might be interested in hearing a little bit about the Chinese American Club and Bill's particular interest in it. Bill, you've been now in the village for about 10 years?
Almost since we bought a unit in 2009.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And you are a vice president of the Chinese American Club.
that's right.
And how many members do you have in that club?
We have over 300 to 400 people.
300 to 400
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And you have monthly meetings, I guess?
Yes.
Now, how many on average will attend a meeting? Obviously, not all 300.
That's about 1/3 of our people go to the monthly meeting.
So about, about 100 people. Well, before you came to the beautiful Laguna Woods Village, in your other life, your working life, what all did you do before, Bill?
Yes, I was educated in the United States at the graduate school level. I got my master degrees in manufacturing area and MBA too. After I get my degree, my engineering degree, I worked for aerospace for a couple of years. And then I worked for Oracle overseas in China. And then I come back after 911. I have my own business since that until I retire.
So you had that your own business for what, about 10 years?
About 10 years,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Was that quite a change for you to go from being a corporate animal, so to speak, to running your own business?
Yes, yeah, very different. Yeah, I prepare myself before I switch to different career.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got an MBA when I was an aerospace engineer.
I see. Well, that was quite a change, that's for sure.
It is.
Well, now in the Chinese American Club, you're one of the vice presidents. What are basically your responsibilities there?
Actually, I'm in charge of the divisions like take care of people about the social benefit, if they have any problem, or try to educate them about how to live well in their retirement life here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I work for as a counselor for Council on Aging, which is an organization funded by private funds, but it's sponsored by federal government and the state government too.
Mm-hmm. What percentage of your time is spent in that outside activity?
I spend most of my time for that kind of volunteer work. I spend we are required to have at least 10 hours per month, but when the season comes, I work more than that hours. Yeah.
Now, within the club itself, what are you doing for the members of the club? How would you be of help to them?
Basically, I in charge the treasure part to make a budget planning and the accounting systems.
Right.
That's one of my responsibility. Another area is we have a division called a care center.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in charge of that one. We try to find the people like medical people or social security people who has the background in those areas to make a speech for us in a monthly meeting.
So you're involved in various presentations that are given to the club by outside folks?
Yeah, I have to find out the people to make the speech. When they can, I have to coordinate these people. This, the schedule too.
Right. So that's one of your main assignments. What's your other one, or others that you have?
Oh, I have also part of my work is to plan the trips for people because for our aged people, we learn how to do the preventive work.
Right.
Also, we have to go out.
Right.
To make we get closer to the nature.
Right.
So we planned a field trip, twice a year, in the springtime and in the fall.
And how do you go about deciding where to go?
We selected a location close to Laguna. Basically, within 1 day we can go and come back. So I look at the advertisement in the newspaper, those travel agent enterprise where you want to go. So I look at those locations. I study those locations, what we can see, what's the best food we can get there. So I try to arrange you good food in the trip, also very happy destination experience.
So regardless of where you go, one of the big decisions is where you're going to eat.
Well, of course, taste.
I mean, like on the way as
On
you're
the
going
way,
from point A to point B.
Yeah.
If it's lunchtime, where do you go?
Well, on the way there or at the destination, is there any good restaurants there? So sometimes I go there myself before the trip.
That's a pretty good excuse, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, now, but more seriously, how do you decide where to go? And I mean, where do you get this information? Because you can't necessarily pick up a daily paper, the LA Times, and work it from there.
Yeah, I have been in Los Angeles area for more than 35 years, so I know most of the location here. So
especially food that Chinese people
Chinese
like.
food, yeah, all the good restaurants in the Chinese community.
Right.
I know all of them.
Right. Well, I know on our trip to the Getty, you made a little bit of a detour and ended up at this gigantic Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
And I guess some people wanted even more time to stay there and eat.
Yes.
What did they say? What would somebody say to you?
Oh, no, last time, remember, we go there, we stay only 1 hour there.
Right.
And a lot of people come out and say, hey, I didn't get enough food there. I'm still hungry. Can you go to your museum and come back pick up us?
That is pretty funny. But that restaurant was so huge, I can understand why you had to do that. I know. One thing I noticed was that you had a real hands-on approach. I was watching you and your assistant during that time, and I was thinking, what kinds of issues are you always aware of? What things do you really have to think about in terms of those hundreds of people on those buses?
Yeah, we want to protect people, prevent any emergency case happen, anything that might happen, because all people are over 60 or 65. So we have an emergent case, how we deal with those situations.
Mm-hmm.
So we group the people, like 5 to 10 people, put them in the group. Mm-hmm. Each group has a leader. So in case there anything that they get lost or they need a special care, they will contact their group leader immediately. Mm-hmm. And group people know where they are.
Right.
If they go to a restaurant, they know he's going.
Right.
And we make sure that he knows when we have to come back to the bus.
Right.
So we don't have to wait there waiting for a single person.
Right. Yeah. You've never had anybody kind of wander away and you've had to spend an hour trying to hunt them down or something like that?
So far, so good.
I can imagine how what a job that must be. Do you find is the Chinese community growing at a fairly good rate right here in the village? Are you getting what rate are Chinese people moving into the village? Is it very much?
We lately we got new members 10 or 20 members every year.
About 10 to 20 a year.
Yeah.
And of course, you're also getting involved in your outside activity with other Asians, such as Koreans. That's a large number of people coming in, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Bill, it's been really fun listening to you talking about what you're doing with the Asian American Club. we hope that things keep going, and we're going to look forward to some of those future trips, my wife and I. That's
No,
for sure.
I would let you know.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, thanks a lot, Bill, and thanks to you all for dropping by. I hope you'll come by again to see Voices in the Village. I'm Bruce Harders. Take care.